One sunny day, the sky painted in the soft hues of early morning, Ralph stepped out into the warm embrace of the sunshine, expecting to find Harley in his usual spot. Harley, his loyal dog and constant companion, was normally easy to find either snoozing under the porch or chasing butterflies in the backyard. But that morning was different. Ralph glanced around the house and then out into the open yard, but Harley was nowhere to be seen. A sudden unease settled in Ralph's chest. "Harley," he called out, his voice sharp with concern. He checked under the deck, around the garden, and even inside the shed, but the dog had vanished without a trace. Panic began to rise as his eyes scanned the horizon, searching for any sign of movement. The quiet breeze and chirping birds offered no comfort. Something didn't feel right. Driven by a growing sense of urgency, Ralph headed down the familiar path that led toward the nearby lake, a place Harley often explored on their walks. As he got closer, the shimmer of the water came into view, reflecting the golden sunlight like a mirror. But what he saw next stopped him in his tracks. Out in the middle of the lake, far from the shore, was Harley. Relief washed over Ralph until he noticed that Harley wasn't alone. Floating beside him, barely keeping its head above water, was a small, trembling creature. It was the strangest thing, Ralph later recalled. "I thought I would find Harley just swimming around like he always does. But when I finally saw him, he wasn't alone. He was helping someone." Squinting against the glare, Ralph realized that Harley was swimming beside a fawn, a young deer no older than a few months. Its slender legs were frantically kicking, struggling to stay afloat. It was clear the poor creature was exhausted, its breath shallow and rapid, eyes wide with fear. Harley, ever the gentle soul, had spotted the fawn's distress and had immediately sprung into action. His instincts, sharpened from years of being a certified therapy dog, told him this tiny life needed help and he wouldn't let her down. Without hesitation, Harley nudged the fawn gently with his nose, offering a calm presence amid the chaos. He swam slowly, deliberately, guiding the baby deer with such care and intention that it almost looked like they had practiced this moment. Ralph stood at the water's edge, heart pounding, utterly mesmerized by what he was witnessing. Others began to gather too, neighbors, joggers, and a couple walking their dog, all drawn by the rare and remarkable sight of a dog saving a wild animal from drowning. The journey back to shore was not easy. The water was deep, the current subtle but steady. Yet Harley remained determined, never leaving the fawn's side for even a second. The fawn, sensing safety in Harley's presence, leaned into him, her fragile legs no longer flailing quite as wildly. Slowly, steadily, they made their way back. When their feet finally touched the soft mud of the lakebed, a wave of applause broke out among the small crowd. Cheers, claps, even a few tears of joy filled the lakeside air. Harley had done the unthinkable, not just rescuing a wild creature, but showing the kind of compassion that transcends species. Ralph rushed forward, wrapping his arms around Harley and gently steadying the exhausted fawn. Pat, Ralph's wife, arrived shortly after with towels and a warm blanket. Together, they dried Harley off and gently helped the little deer recover from the shock. Harley, now a retired therapy dog who had once brought peace and comfort to elderly patients in nursing homes, had proven once more that kindness lived deep within him. His body might have slowed with age, but his heart had never stopped caring. That day, he didn't just save a life. He reminded everyone watching of something timeless and powerful, that sometimes the greatest acts of heroism are the quietest ones, performed not for praise, but out of pure love. And as the sun continued to shine down on that little lake, Harley laid beside the recovering fawn, eyes half closed, tail gently thumping against the grass, as if to say, "You're safe now. I've got you."